Welcome to the channel. My name is Lee and today is part 2 of my video series showcasing my fountain pen collection. In the first video I shared all of my knockoff pens and all of the pens that I do not have in current rotation right now. And in this video I'm going to show you every pen that is paired with a journal or something that I keep in my everyday carry bags. And yeah, that's going to be the video. So if you like that kind of thing, please go ahead and like the video and leave any comments or questions that you have in the comment section down below. And please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like these videos and if you are interested in seeing more like it. So with that all in mind, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so I'm trying to decide where I want to start with this. I think I'll start with my reading journal here, and the pen that came on it. This is actually my first ever fountain pen. This is a Dryden Designs bamboo wooden fountain pen. I actually have, if you've seen some of my really old videos that are terrible, you may have seen this pen before. I do have a video specifically about it. It's an unboxing video, and I bought this pen off of Amazon as a I guess the reason that I got into fountain pens is to reduce my waste, as I've mentioned before in the video, and that's actually why I went with a wooden cased pen. And I thought that this was like the fanciest pen on the face of the planet. I mean, obviously I knew it wasn't, but I just thought, wow, I paid $30 for this pen. That is just an absurd, unrealistic price to pay for a pen. And, you know, years later, I realized that you can pay a lot more than $30 for a pen. That is not difficult to find. So, this is a Dryden Designs. I don't remember if I said that yet or not. It is I honestly don't know what kind of, whether it's meant to be a broad or medium. I think it's meant to be a medium nib. It's pretty broad compared to some of the other pens that you have seen me use. It does come with this gold and silver nib. When you handle the pen and like start to unscrew it, you do kind of realize it's where they've like cut corners in the quality of the pen. I think the casing of the pen is really, really nice. But this whole mechanism here definitely leaves a lot to be desired. So this is a pretty plasticky, not very sturdy, whatever this is called, nib shaft maybe. It comes with a pretty basic converter, so it did come with the converter. I wouldn't say it's as nice of a converter that came with the Jinhao pens. I currently have this inked up with the Noodler's Black Magic, but I think it might be like a little bit mixed with some Diamine writer's blood, just because I am not very good at cleaning out my pens after I've used them. But yeah, right now what I predominantly use this pen for is my reading journal. I'll give you a quick example of my writing with it. So that's not it. Here we go. Yeah, The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Anyway, that there was written with this pen. And I'll do a quick demo now. So right there is your first red flag with the pen. Now I don't like use this daily, so it's not terribly uncommon for a pen to dry like that, but a higher quality pen, you should be able to use the pen without it having a hard start like that. Here we go. All right. And so yeah, that's just like not ideal, obviously. So yeah, I think it is a medium to bold nib. Nothing particularly great about it. And yeah, this pen was kind of like the thing that made me realize that not all pens are made the same. After I realized that I didn't love this pen, I invested in a few Pilot Metropolitan pens. I no longer have those. I gave them to my husband and I think he lost them. So they might be somewhere in my house, but I wasn't able to find them for this tour. But I don't love the Pilot Metropolitans either. A lot of people say that they're a great beginner's pen, but I really struggled with the nibs being a little too flexible and not holding their shape very well. And I'm not someone who, I wouldn't say that I'm like super heavy-handed with my pens, so I didn't enjoy using those. Anyway, that is the Dryden Designs pen. Next up, I have my Narwhal Peter pen. This is from the brand Narwhal, obviously, and it is a resin pen that is a piston fill. It is a fine nib. Pretty sure it's a fine nib. And I use this pen for most of my like long form journaling. I've got it inked up with the Noodler's 54th Massachusetts, which I've shown you before. And it is a limited edition pen, so you wouldn't be able to get this at a like a retail store anymore, but you might be able to find it as a like secondhand. This was my first, I guess, expensive pen. It costs, I think this one cost like $69. You can get basically the same pen just without the Peter Draws design on it. On the Narwhal website, I think it's just their like basic pen, and I think those are around $50. Like I said, it has a piston fill, a screw top. I actually really love the feel of the resin. Once I bought this pen, I actually did not buy another pen for a good 4 or 5 years. It wasn't until recently that I started collecting pens again. So I'll show you this one. Narwhal did recently like change their name. It's basically the same word but just in another language. And it's like Navalar or something like that. I still say Narwhal because I am so used to saying that. But you can see I've had a couple of skips here and there, and that is an issue with the pen, but it doesn't happen every time I use the pen. Like I could be journaling for pages and pages and never have a skip. And it's not like it's something that I have to sit there and like keep working out like I did with that Dryden Designs pen. So yeah, I really enjoyed using this pen because I do have a small hand or have small hands. Sometimes the girth of this pen caused some fatigue for me, but overall, it's been a really reliable and enjoyable pen for me to use. And as of right now, it's not my most expensive pen, but it is my second most expensive pen. And here's the box that it came in. I guess I just kept this because it is a collector's item. Peter Draws does have a YouTube channel, so I mean, if you're into pen content, he's primarily an artist, but he does a lot of pen reviews and things like that. So we are down to our last 3 pens, and these 3 are my favorite pens. My absolute top favorite pens. You might know what I'm about to say, but they are the Kaweco Sports. I found these recently from watching another YouTuber named Adventure Denali. She was doing a review of her Kaweco Sport Brass, and it kind of sparked me to start my journeying into the Kaweco Sport rabbit hole, if you will. So without further ado, let's jump into the last little section of this video. Okay, so these are the 3 items that I use my Kaweco Sports with. I'm going to kind of do 2 together because they're basically the same pen, and then I'll show you the last one. Yeah. So these are just 2 of the Kaweco Sports. They're the, oh gosh. One that I keep in my planner, and 2 that I keep in my purse. So these are both from the Kaweco collections, which all that it means is that they are limited edition colors, and they, unlike a typical Kaweco Sport, they actually come with the removable clip on it. So I have this blue one here, and I have this olive green one, and they both are inked with the same ink, which you can probably guess is my Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. And these are plastic pens. This one is got like a silver metal theme, whereas the olive one has a gold metal theme. The olive one here is my first ever Kaweco. Out of the 2 of these, even though my favorite color is blue, I think I do prefer this one. It might have to do with the fact that it's my first Kaweco, I don't know. But anyway, back to the anatomy of the pen here. These are pocket pens, so they're really small. I have super small hands. But what I love about them, in addition to the fact that they're so small so they can be put into your purse, your pocket, you can easily carry it around with you. When you post it, it actually basically makes it into like a standard length pen. So even if you don't have small hands like I do, you'd still be able to write with this pen. I have heard that for some people who have like particularly big hands that these pens are challenging to use, but again, I have small hands. I will sometimes even leave the cap in the pen loop and just take the pen out and write with it like that. But again, I do have really small hands. So I'll do a quick swatch with it. I'm going to use my little commonplace book here just to get some use out of it. And it has standard paper. So we're going to start with the blue. I just really love the feel of the nibs too. They do have a tiny touch of feedback, but it's not as scratchy to me as the Lamy Safari is. A lot of pen enthusiasts will recommend the Lamy and the Kaweco Sport as like two of their their two like recommendations for like a first fountain pen, and I think those are two great recommendations. Yeah, this pen just feels extremely natural to me to write with, so usually actually write in cursive when I'm journaling. And I do have bad handwriting, so don't judge me for that. So, yeah, I guess when you compare those two pens, the Lamy and the Kaweco, some things to consider would be your hand size. If you have huge hands, this might not be the best pen for you. If that's not an issue, or you just like small pens, this would be a great option. I think this one is a bit more classy than the Lamy Safaris. I think they look more unique and interesting, and are generally a little bit more versatile. One downside to these pens is the cartridge. So the standard cartridges for these pens are smaller than a standard cartridge for a typical fountain pen. You can use a grease, like a silicone grease, to seal this and actually turn this into a pipette pen. But I don't do that, and as I said earlier in the video, while talking about the Charlie, I don't prefer that style of ink filling for a pen. But my last pen that I'm about to show you actually takes care of that. So that is the Kaweco collection, and without further ado, we will come full circle to my number one favorite pen, which is the Kaweco All-Star Piston Fill Fountain Pen. So this is a version of the Kaweco Sport, but instead of being made out of plastic, it is made out of aluminum. And it, unlike the other Kaweco Sports, the clip is not removable, so it always stays on there. And the other thing that makes it really unique, even compared to other aluminum Kaweco Sports, is the fact that it's a piston fill pen. So this pen, instead of having a cartridge, you do actually fill the bottom of the barrel of the pen with ink using a piston fill mechanism. And I haven't had any issues with it blowing out of the pen. Even as I've only had a small amount of ink in here, it's consistently had a really nice line. It's never gone dry on me. I got this for Christmas, and I've been using it almost daily since then. It has a blind cap on the piston screw. I'm not going to do that because it is inked up. And all the details are gold with this kind of bluish window to show you how much ink you have left. It does post like a normal Kaweco Sport. If you twist it, with the cap posted, you can unscrew the blind cap. Some people use that as a quick way to refill their pen while they're writing. And I just love this pen so much. It's the most luxurious pen that I own. It is the most expensive pen that I own as well. It cost about $165. My husband got this from Goulet Pens, but you can get it at just about any pen retailer. And yeah, I just really love this pen. I love the feel of it. I love, it's got like a gold nib, and it's just so much smoother than any other pen that I own. I will say it did just hard start, which is not the best example of this pen, but that is because I need to re-ink it. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. Okay, we are back and we are inked up. And I forgot to mention that I inked it, I keep this inked with the Noodler's Heart of Darkness. So yeah, what I love about the nib is that it is just super smooth to write with. There is a little bit of feedback, and yeah, like it's not damaging the paper. This is pretty cheap paper that I'm using. And yeah, I just really love it. I love it a lot. I'm really happy to have it. Honestly, there's not much more to say. And yeah, so that is the Kaweco All Sport Piston Fill, my #1 favorite pen. And in case you're wondering, I'll show you, I guess, what I would consider my favorite pens out of the pens that I have. So obviously we have our Kawecos. The Narwhal is gonna be in this list. So there is the Narwhal, and then finally the Noodler's Charlie, which is kind of an odd man out amongst the bunch, but there you have it. And that concludes the tour of my entire fountain pen collection. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. If you have any questions or comments about these pens or how I use them, go ahead and leave those in the comments section down below. And thank you so much for watching this video and engaging with my channel, and just being here. It means a lot to me. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.